This video got 15 million views on Instagram, 11 million views on TikTok, and the recipe has been made by millions of people worldwide. Hey everyone, it's Yumna from Feel Good Foodie, and I was one of the first bloggers to make baked feta pasta trend on TikTok. This recipe was created in Finland and brought to the US by Grilled Cheese Social in 2019. Now it's known as TikTok pasta, and I've been featured in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and Huffington Post for the recipe. It's basically a block of salty, melty feta cheese with sweet and juicy cherry tomatoes that create a heavenly sauce mixed with pasta. I've made so many versions of the recipe, so I'm gonna share with you today my favorite 3 versions, plus lots of tips that you should be paying attention to if you wanna try the recipe. So let's get started. We're gonna start with 2 pints of cherry tomatoes. It helps if the cherry tomatoes are pretty small because they're going to be more juicy and more sweet. So we're gonna go ahead and transfer this to a baking dish. And then we're gonna add half a cup of olive oil. I know a lot of people think half a cup of olive oil is a lot, but this really creates the sauce for the recipe, and we're dividing it into 8 servings. So it really comes out to about 1.5 tablespoons per serving. And I recommend using extra virgin olive oil because it makes all the difference in creating the best sauce for the recipe. Now we'll add some salt, some fresh pepper, and give everything a good toss. Because the recipe is made with such minimal ingredients, it really helps to make sure that everything is super fresh. So don't use canned tomatoes, don't use dried basil, and don't use just regular olive oil. You wanna make sure that everything is high quality and super fresh. I've been getting a lot of questions about what kind of feta cheese is the best for this recipe. I think it works with all kinds of feta cheese, but what I've found is sometimes French feta cheese can be more creamy, and Greek feta also has higher quality. So try to find some that's Greek or French if possible. And if all you can find is crumbled feta cheese because the stores are running out of it, it's fine. Just bunch it up in the middle so it doesn't dry out in the oven. So now we're gonna take the block of feta cheese and stick it right in the middle of the baking dish. And now you can add a touch of olive oil on top and a little bit more black pepper. And now we're going to bake this in the oven at 400 degrees for 35 minutes. While that's in the oven, I'm going to share with you a second version. So same drill once again. We'll start with the tomatoes, olive oil, salt, and pepper. Now we add the goat cheese right in the middle. Something fun I like to do here is add some honey. Bake at 400 for 35 minutes. And now it's time for the third version of baked feta pasta. And this one's not baked, it's done on the stovetop. So we'll start again, same drill, tomatoes, olive oil, salt, and pepper. Now very carefully take the block of feta and place it right in the middle of the pan. And then for the final touch, just a little bit of crushed red pepper. And you can add another drizzle of olive oil on top. So now we're gonna let this cook on medium heat for 10 minutes until the feta gets nice and melty and the tomatoes start to burst. All right, I've got 3 versions of feta pasta right in front of me, and now I'll go ahead and start with this version. We'll add some basil, and we'll add some garlic, and now it's time to mix it all together. You can see the feta is nice and melty, and the tomatoes are sweet and juicy and just bursting, literally. I love how the tomatoes, the olive oil, and the feta just create a silky, smooth, and beautiful sauce. And the more you smash the tomatoes, the more beautiful it creates a confit basically with that. Time for the pasta. This is cavatappi pasta, but you can use any kind. And I also like to add some pasta water because it really clings onto the pasta and creates a nice, smooth, and silky sauce. Then give everything a good toss and it'll be ready to go. The drill is pretty much the same. We're gonna add some basil, some garlic, toss it with some pasta, and ready to serve. So here's the final product. So many variations of baked feta pasta, and I have so many more ideas and so many more tips on the website. So feel free to check it out and let me know which one you try, and let me know if this recipe is worth all the hype. And now I'm gonna see if Video Matt wants to try it and which one. So what do you think? All right, he's gonna try the penne that's on the stovetop. So let's see what he thinks of the recipe. All right, Video Matt, here you go. What do you think? Awesome. So he says it's worth all the hype, and now it's time for me to serve some up because I haven't made this in a few weeks, and so it's time to dig in, and I'm gonna go for the original baked feta pasta. I'm gonna pour myself some right here. This recipe is so simple to make. I love how easy the ingredients are and how fancy it feels. A lot of people have told me it actually feels like a restaurant type of meal. So I couldn't agree more, and I hope you guys try the recipe and agree as well. It's so good, you guys. So good. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's worth all the hype.